Hi, I'm Rusty Shackleford. Let me start out by telling you a little bit about myself. The only thing you need to know is that I make, on average, less than the cashier at McDonald's. Mr. Obama, fuck you. Now on to my little issues I have with the world right now. Everybody knows that Michael Jackson's been in the news now for the past day and a half. Okay, the guy died. I understand he was one of the biggest male stars of the 70s. Gotcha, he's dead. I'm sorry to hear it, it's sad. Why is it overshadowing world events? Why does it overshadow North Korea and the fact that they've blatantly been threatening us? They're the only country who has done that, and they're more than likely the only country who would act on threats like that. Where's Farrah Fawcett? You know, where's Ed McMahon? They died the same week. You know, why is Michael Jackson overshadowing those two great stars also? Personally, I think Farrah Fawcett's death was more important. That's just my opinion, though. You know, this coming from an average American, you know, who just wants to get his opinion out there. Let's move on to some of the bigger gripes that I have. Iran is one of them. How our president is so big on preaching about freedom, but where was his complaints and everything when the police started shooting the protesters? Well, what did he have to say? He pretty much said, "Stop doing that." That was it. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. When you have somebody who talks about how he wants everyone to be free this, free that, you know, giving stuff to other nations and helping the world, helping the economy, helping the community. Where is he at in this situation? I mean, could it be that Iran, being the world's #4 oil-producing nation, does that have anything to do with it? And since he's said what little he said about condemning those attacks on the protesters, Iran's already said, you know, America is showing its true face again. Now they're probably going to step away from the table as far as the nuclear talks go. Thanks, Obama. Appreciate that. Moving on to this new bill that was passed today on the legislation to curb the greenhouse gas emissions. The winners of this bill are people who support solar, wind, and geothermal energy sources, also nuclear being the same thing. That pretty much sums it up right there. Solar, geothermal, and wind. How many of those do we have in the world right now? How many of those do we have in the nation? The losers of this bill, anybody who pays for an electric bill. That's who's going to lose. It's going to raise the utility rates all over the country. It will be clearer emissions in the atmosphere, but they're going to be more expensive. So that in turn is going to do what? Make us cause us to spend more money. Money that we don't have, obviously. It's going to cap emissions from refineries producing oil, as well as the fuels they produce. So what's that going to do? That's going to raise gas prices again, because they're not going to be allowed to drill as much as they would usually do. They're not going to be able to make as much gas as they usually would. It's also going to affect coal mining. Okay, not a whole lot of people think about coal mining when it comes to energy. Coal mining uses a whole lot of energy. Half the fucking nation is run on energy produced by coal. So what's that going to do to that? I mean, if you start capping emissions on things that cause half this country to run, where's that going to put you? It's going to put you in the dark. It's going to turn spots of this nation into third world countries, where people are going to be living in tents because they can't live in a house where there's no air, there's no heat. They're going to have to live outside and survive on the wind blowing. That's it. I don't fucking get it. I don't know where the people get off in the house thinking that this is good for the nation. That moves me on to the deficit, which has been a big fucking issue. President Bush put us, what, $450 billion in debt. Okay, gotcha. Since Obama's been in office, our deficit has effectively been, but the experts are saying by the end of this year alone, our deficit will be $1.2 trillion. In the past 2 years, our combined deficit is going to reach $2.5 trillion, which is, that's a lot of fucking money that we don't have, that we've never had. We borrowed so much money from other countries that the interest alone on what we're paying for on these loans is more than what the Iraq war costs. That doesn't make any sense. Why? Why can't we tell other nations to give us back what they owe us, to pay us back? It's time for them to help us out for a change. We go out there, everybody talks about America needing to help the world because we're the greatest superpower. Okay, well, it's time for us to step back and say, hey, it's our turn. Where you at? One country has ever paid us back what they loaned us. Sweden. Thanks, appreciate that. That's it. Where's the fucking accountability? How are we going to sit here and constantly be producing money that we don't have, yet all these countries owe us billions and billions and billions of dollars, and we're not collecting on it? It's time, to me, it's time that we stop being, hey, stop that, and start being, where's my fucking money? Holding a baseball bat. That's what it's going to end up turning out to be. And it sucks, but that's just the way life goes. Diplomacy doesn't work all the time. I just don't fucking know. I don't know what to say about that. It boggles my mind that much. That moves me on to my last little tidbit for this episode. The National Health Care Plan. Are you fucking kidding me? The National Health Care Plan. It doesn't work for Canada. I mean, people think that it's good, but it doesn't work for them. You're asking for hardworking, decent Americans to exchange what they're paying for, the greatest care that the world has ever known, the greatest health care the world has ever known. You're asking them to exchange that for a program prone to waiting lists, long lines, rationing off services. It was probably thought up of the same person who invented the idea of the DMV or the post office, you know, where you have to wait fucking 30 minutes to get a stamp. You can't sit here and tell me that we as a whole should be paying for everybody else who can't afford it. I paid for my own medical. My mother pays for her own medical. I shouldn't have to pay for 19, 20 different families who can't afford it because they're too busy, you know, just fucking sitting on their ass. They're not doing anything for themselves. They're not trying to do anything for themselves. They sit there at their house and they collect a government check every month. I don't know what else. There's a shit ton more I could say about the matter. There's no point. Just who am I? Nobody. I'm Rusty Shackleford. That's all.